Now it's time for another interesting EdTech presentation, and I welcome Dr. Rajat Dandekar, co-founder Vizuara, for this session. And we look forward to, this is going to be the last EdTech presentation, so we look forward to hearing some insights, probably on something which probably we haven't heard since morning. So over to you.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Rajat. I am the co-founder of Vizuara. At Vizuara, we have a singular focus. Our goal is to help every child in the classroom reach their maximum potential. Before I go to how we solve this problem, let me introduce our team. So, the three of us are the co-founders of Vizuara. Myself in the center, my twin brother Raj, who is on the right, and Sridat, who is a very close friend. All of us are graduates from IIT Madras, and we have done our PhDs from the USA. With a mission to contribute something to the education sector in India, we decided to move back to India after completing our PhDs. So these are some of the awards that we have received for our teaching and research efforts. All of us really love teaching and want to make sure that the classroom experience is as optimum as possible. So what is the problem that the classrooms currently are facing? One of the major challenges is that if I'm a teacher in the classroom and I'm teaching a class of 50 students, it is very hard for me to understand what is the understanding level of every student in the classroom. Now, sure enough, schools have purchased a lot of smart classes, smart products, but there is no data which tells, are these products actually helping the students or not? So, for example, there are a number of students in a single classroom who are shy or introverted. Now, these people often do not speak up in the classroom. Now, this does not mean that they haven't understood the content. It is just their nature. So, as a teacher, how do I identify what are the strengths and weaknesses of the student in the class, or what is the understanding level of every single student in the classroom? So this is the problem which we wanted to solve. Now, how to go about solving this problem? There are really two steps to solve this problem. The first is to develop a world-class teaching pedagogy which places the emphasis on maximizing the student understanding. And the second is to equip the teachers with a tool which can help them track the knowledge level of every single student in the classroom. So I'll explain how we tackle both these steps one by one. So we have developed our own teaching pedagogy over a span of 2 years. And yes, I did this along with my PhD. It was a side hobby at that time, but now it has become my full-time job. So this pedagogy was developed by a team of 100 to 150 students. All of them are students at MIT and also from all across the world. And this is really a passionate community whose only aim is to bring out fresh content that places an emphasis back on student understanding and not on rote learning. So now let me discuss what are the key aspects of this pedagogy. So the Vizuara pedagogy is really based on 4 pillars. The first is the pillar of interactivity. We believe that students learn the best if they interact with the content by themselves, if they actually experience the content. So when I was a part of IIT Madras, I was a part of a project called the garbage compressor project. As a part of this project, our aim was to compress the garbage by 70%. And at the heart of this was the working of an electric motor. So any student who would have interacted with this virtual lab would have easily completed this project. This is just one example of an electric motor, but we have created more than 500 virtual laboratories spanning all the scientific concepts. The second is the emphasis on visual learning.
We will understand Rutherford's model
we wanted to create content which all types of students can understand.
Ernest
So even if I
Rutherford,
mute this
a British
audio,
scientist,
you will still
conducted
understand what's
an
going on in the
experiment.
video because it's so
And
visual
based
in
on the
nature.
observations of this
Actually, this is where
experiment,
the name
he
of our
explained
company
the
Vizuara
atomic
comes
structure
from.
of elements and
So
proposed
research has shown
Rutherford's
that more than
atomic model.
70% students are visual learners. Imagine, why do students enjoy watching movies so much?
Rutherford's
It's
𝗙𝗵𝗃
because something
experiment.
is moving in front of their
In his
screen, something is
experiment,
graphical.
he directed
But
how
at the same
energy
time, this
streams of alpha
entertainment
particles
needs to be
from a
balanced with
radioactive
education.
source
And we
at a
believe that we
glacial
have
pole.
achieved the right kind of balance with this. The third pillar of our content are inquiry-based assessments. Assessments are a very integral part of the learning process, and they should not promote rote learning. So let me give you an example. If I take a ball here and I throw it on the ground, the question that I can ask is, what is the range of this projectile motion? Now, is this question good? What it is doing is that it is promoting rote learning. The students who know the range of the projectile motion formula will be able to answer the question. What we do is that we pose an inquiry at the start. This inquiry can be in the form of a virtual lab or a game. And after this inquiry, students will be asked questions which will be specifically based on concepts, not on rote learning or memorization. Now, the fourth pillar is this pillar of paperless. So to achieve all the objectives which I mentioned before, it is important that we go digital. We did not have any other option in this regard. So all of our content is hosted online right now. And you can see that it is very nicely arranged. There are sections on books, there are assessments, there are virtual laboratories. Basically, there are portals for students and teachers as well. So everyone in the classroom can interact with this content. So this forms the basic pedagogy of Vizuara. Now coming to the next part, which is how do I record the student understanding, which is a very integral part, because student can interact with the content, but they can skip through the pages and they can reach the end. So we should detect that this particular student has not really interacted with the content. So this was a challenging problem to solve. Now this is my report card when I was in 10th. So you can see that my English is pretty weak from this report card. I have got 72 marks out of 100. So as a parent or as a teacher, if I have to improve my performance in English, there is really no way to do that. Where exactly am I going wrong? Am I going wrong in grammar, in literature, in comprehension, in punctuations? What exactly is going wrong? So this is the traditional report cards which have been carried out in schools since so many years now. So it is high time we change, I think, because we need to make holistic report cards to make sure that every student understanding level is reported. Now the way we do that, as I said, was a pretty challenging problem, but we have developed an artificial intelligence engine which can extract these parameters of student engagement, student understanding, and student discipline. Now, how we do that is a complicated problem. I can explain to you when you come to my booth, which is located outside. And these are the report cards which we generate. Now, let me take you step by step through this. First of all, every report card is targeted for a specific chapter. So this is the report card for the chapter of force. Now, within the chapter of force, you can see that there are subject metrics related to the understanding level, the engagement level, the confidence level, and the discipline level of the student. And finally, we have a chart which shows which particular concept the student is weak in, which concept the student is strong in. Now, after every month, we will be providing these report cards to the teachers so that they can make assessments of what exactly is going wrong. Whatever I'm teaching in the classroom, is it really reaching the students or not? If not, then what changes do I need to make? So this is sort of a diagnosis report. And the patients here are the students. And the teacher is providing the diagnosis based on the report card that we provide. So basically, using a combination of these two things, the pedagogy and the report cards, we are now in a perfect place where we can really make sure that whatever we are teaching in the classroom, the students are actually understanding it. And I believe this is where the gap currently is located, and we are trying to solve it. So now you might be wondering how easy it is to implement in my school. What is the process for the school implementation? So it's really very simple. There are two ways of using Vizuara. First is usage by student at home. The second way is the usage by teachers in the school. And the way we connect all this is using a 360-degree integrated framework. So imagine that the students are solving or interacting with the content at their homes. Then we generate these report cards, which will be made available to the teachers. And then the teacher can correspondingly alter their lesson plans based on the report cards that we have provided. Now, one of the problems that you might think here is that some of the schools have told us that they would like to monitor the students when they are interacting with the content. So the solution we gave for that was that if you make the students sit in a computer lab for 40 minutes and have the teachers monitor what the students are doing with the content, then we can eliminate the need for students to go home and interact with the content. But it is really up to the school how they use it. This is one of the demo which I conducted in a school in Hyderabad. And there we have implemented our product, and we have seen that the performance of the students have improved by a margin of almost 70%. It was a 2-month-long pilot program, which is now giving successful results. And this is some of the feedback which we have received from our mentors at MIT and also in India. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. If you want to discuss anything, I am just sitting outside near my booth along with my brother. He is also here. And we can have an extended discussion also. I'll be in Mumbai for around 7 days. I'm originally from Pune, but we will be staying here for 7 days. So if you want to interact with me, just come here and we can have a long chat. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajat, so much. And I think, we're going to be visiting your stall because what you were presenting was looking very interesting. Especially, I've got 2 boys. So, yeah, I was pretty much interested in knowing what you're doing. So, we would like to felicitate Rajat. And if I can call upon, Mr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 to come up on stage. Thank you so much.